contributors and maintainers to get engaged with the open source community, educate the people what is open source, and also get involved everywhere around the world. So, as a Delhi community right now, we have taken an initiative to take the meetup further, where we are organizing the meetups on a daily monthly basis, where we have good talks and then there we have some events as well. So right now, the very first talk I am going to invite Mr. Ankush. He is going to explain a bit on the Delhi community, how we started and how things are going on, and then we are going to take up meetup further. So Ankush.
Hello everyone. So how was your day? Nice. Awesome. So Laravel Delhi, तो start करें हमारा October month का Laravel Delhi का meetup. So something about Laravel Delhi. So Laravel Delhi बोला जाए तो हमारी इंडिया की फर्स्ट कम्युनिटी है. स्टार्ट किया था हमने जो अपना Laravel जो अपना एक जर्नी स्टार्ट की थी Laravel इंडिया ने दिल्ली से स्टार्ट की. And now ये फैमिली काफी बड़ी हो गई है. More than 10-12 cities हमारी इंडिया में हो चुकी हैं. And let me start from our side. Sorry for the slide time last minute. Yeah. So Laravel Delhi. So Laravel Delhi से जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि Laravel Delhi से Laravel इंडिया स्टार्ट हुआ था. And ये कुछ स्लाइड्स हैं जो हमारी जर्नी आपको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे कि हम एज ए इंडियन कम्युनिटी कैसे स्टार्ट हुई थी हमारी. And फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमारी स्टोरी स्टार्ट होती है. ये हमारा फर्स्ट ईयर है Laravel जनवरी 10 जनवरी 2017. तो हमने फर्स्ट हमारी कम्युनिटी के एंड वहाँ इन दोनों ने स्टार्ट की थी, जहाँ से हमने अपना ये पेज स्टार्ट किया था विद Laravel की प्रमोशन का. एंड ये कुछ हमारे एंगेजमेंट है. उस टाइम मतलब कुछ भी नहीं था, मतलब हमारा स्टार्ट हुआ था फ्रॉम जीरो. एंड आवर फर्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस इन 2017 दिल्ली में हुआ था, जिसमें हमारे मेन स्पीकर्स हैं कुछ आई थिंक काफी फेस मोड में आप लोग जानते होंगे, जिसमें ललित विजय, मार्शल एंड फ्रीड, बाकी दो मैं भी थोड़ा उनका नाम है क्लियर है. एंड दिस इज सम पिक्चर फ्रॉम आवर फर्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस गिफ्ट्स. ये कुछ हमारी ऑडियंस है. ये कॉमेडी पेज हमारा. So after that हमारा एक फर्स्ट मीटअप हुआ था जून 2017 में. So इसमें कुछ सिमिलर फेसेस धीरज है, ललित है, बाकी एंड उसके बाद हमने नेक्स्ट अपना मीटअप किया था सॉरी कॉन्फ्रेंस की थी दिल्ली की 2018 में. एंड या हमारी सबसे मेजर अचीवमेंट फ्रॉम Laravel इंडिया फर्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस फ्रॉम LaravelLive, तो जिसमें हमारे विशाल भाई थोड़ा ज्वाइन किया था. एंड सबको नचाते हुए उन्होंने स्पेशली. एंड काफी फेमस फेसेस हैं, फ्री हैं ये हैं, और माइंड भी हमारे ये नेक्स्ट स्पीकर्स भी हमारे LaravelLive के Laravel. सो सम कुछ अच्छी मेमोरीज हमारी. ये हमारी 10 मीटअप की होती रैप अप था, तो थोड़ी हमारी फैमिली काफी बड़ी होती है देखने के. एंड या सेकंड फोर्थ कॉन्फ्रेंस. सो ड्यू फ्रॉम हमारी जो कॉन्फ्रेंस थी पहले हम LaravelLive से कर रहे थे. फ्रॉम 2020 में हमें परमिशन मिलती है हमें Laravel हैंडल करने के लिए. सो ये हमारी फर्स्ट वीडियो है फ्रॉम Laravel इंडिया. एंड जिसके कारण हमने स्टार्ट करना था 2020 में. बट जैसे आप लोग सब जानते हो 2020 में कोविड ने हमारे प्लान्स को सबको बदल कर दिया थे. एंड कुछ हमारी हालत ऐसी थी. क्वेश्चन कि ऐसे क्यों हुआ है, क्यों हुआ है, और अभिषेक कुछ पता चला कि क्या क्यों हुआ इसमें. एंड या तो क्या ये बोल हमारे फॉरवर्ड हमारे यहाँ क्या हुआ है लाइक. सो फाइनली वी आर ऑन आवर Laravel इवेंट फॉर अहमदाबाद. सो हमारी कॉमेडी सबसे ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड है फॉर दिस इवेंट. सो आई थिंक आप लोग भी एक्साइटेड होंगे. एंड प्लीज गाली बंद. So yeah, that's it from my side. My first talk again from Dheeraj. Please, Dheeraj.
I'll check from any other account if I have. So अगर कोई भी पब्लिक गिटहब यूजर गिटहब लारावेल दिल्ली का प्रोफाइल ओपन करेगा, he'll see like this. Okay, so first step is to they need to fork this report to their own account. So first step is जो हम लोग यहाँ पे we see this fork option. Okay, हम डायरेक्टली किसी और के अकाउंट में कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर सकते. Okay, they are owning this account. So पहला जो स्टेप रहेगा इसको फॉर्क करते हैं. इससे क्या होता है बेसिकली, ये पूरा रेपोजिटरी जो कि पब्लिक है वो हमारे खुद के अकाउंट में कॉपी हो जाता है. राइट, सो इस तरह से मेरा जो नया यूआरएल बनेगा वो ये रहेगा, जो भी मेरा गिटहब प्रोफाइल है एंड आगे जो भी हम रेपोजिटरी फॉर्क कर रहे हैं. सो इसको मैंने क्रिएट फॉर्क किया और इसने देखो इफ यू सी द यूआरएल, इसने मेरे अकाउंट में LaravelLive दिल्ली का जो वेबसाइट का पूरा कोड है इसने मेरे अकाउंट में कॉपी कर दिया है. नाउ आई कैन मेक द कंट्रीब्यूशन फ्रॉम माय अकाउंट, बट अगेन इट हैज टू गो टू एंटायर प्रोसेस ऑफ अप्रूवल एंड ऑल. ओके, सो सबसे पहले मैं क्या करूंगा, आई विल ओपन फर्स्ट, आई विल शो यू व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू. ये वेबसाइट है और ये हमारा लेटेस्ट सेक्शन होता है जो हम होम पेज पे आफ्टर एवरी मीटअप वी पुट इट. ओके, सो फिलहाल के लिए हम इस वाले सेक्शन को अपडेट करेंगे. ठीक है, आई जस्ट डू बेसिक अपडेट ओवर हियर एंड इसको मैं अपने अकाउंट से करूंगा एंड देन आई विल अप्रूव इट फ्रॉम ऑफिशियल Laravel लाइव दिल्ली अकाउंट. ओके, सो पहले मैं index.html को जाऊंगा और इसको एडिट करूंगा. आई ओपन दिस वन और ऑल द एडिट्स आई डू डायरेक्टली इन माय वेब एडिटर, सो मुझे लोकल पे कॉपी ना करना पड़े इस टाइम पे. I'll see the code and this is the code of latest जो entry है जो मैंने बताया, this part. Okay, so I'll not change the image for now. I'll just update this one, this section and date and all this detail. I'll just put it that to be updated or something like that. Okay, so मैं यहाँ पे simply edit के option में जाऊँगा. Okay, so this is for September chapter. I'll update ID say Hacktober chapter and I can update this link, but for now I'll just make a hash. Okay. And I'll just update the date 15th October and everything else I will just to be updated. Okay, when I'll check this, जब मैं ये सारी चीज़ लोकल पे करूँगा तो मैं लाइव एडिट देख सकता हूँ अपने लोकल पे रिफ्रेश करके, बट सिंस आई एम डूइंग इट ऑन माय GitHub प्रोफाइल डायरेक्टली, GitHub अकाउंट डायरेक्टली, सो आई वॉन्ट बी एबल टू सी ऑल द चेंजेस डायरेक्टली. मुझे पूरा स्टेप फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. आई विल कंट्रीब्यूट टू माय फर्स्ट इनटू माय अकाउंट. पहले मैं अपने अकाउंट में अपडेट करूंगा, देन आई विल क्रिएट अ मर्ज रिक्वेस्ट टू LaravelLive दिल्ली अकाउंट. सो समवन फ्रॉम Laravel दिल्ली विल हैव टू अप्रूव दिस चेंज एंड देन इट विल बी रिफ्लेक्टेड ऑन द वेबसाइट. सो मैंने ये चेंजेस किए हैं और आई होप कुछ फटे ना इसमें. अपडेटेड लेटेस्ट डायरेक्टली अपने मास्टर ब्रांच में अपडेट कर दिया है. देन आई विल गो टू द पुल रिक्वेस्ट एंड आई विल क्रिएट न्यू पुल रिक्वेस्ट. ओके, सो यहाँ पे आई विल क्लिक ऑन पुल रिक्वेस्ट, बट आई विल सी दिस पार्ट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. पुल रिक्वेस्ट जो है मैं अपने Laravel अकाउंट से LaravelLive दिल्ली के अकाउंट में करूँगा, राइट. यूजुअली हम क्या करते हैं अपने जब हम सेल्फ खुद के प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहे होते हैं, हम अपने किसी ब्रांच से मास्टर ब्रांच में पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट करते हैं, देन वी मर्ज इट. ओके, बट यहाँ पे हम दो अलग अलग रेपोजिटरी, दो अलग अलग अकाउंट्स की बात कर रहे हैं. तो दिस इज द मेन अकाउंट जिससे हमने कोड लिया है और जिस पे हम कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हैं, एंड दिस इज मी जो मैंने इनका कोड कॉपी किया है और मैंने जो भी चेंजेस थे मैंने किए कि हाँ मैं चाहता हूँ ये नया फीचर आ जाए साइट में, एंड देन आई विल क्रिएट अ पुल रिक्वेस्ट बेस्ड ऑन दिस. So I'll click pull request. Okay, since I am also a collaborator in this account, but I'll not merge it from this account. I'll go to अब मैं अपने GitHub अकाउंट में जब Laravel दिल्ली के GitHub अकाउंट में मेरा पुल रिक्वेस्ट विजिबल हो जाएगा कि लाइक धीरज ने ये चेंजेस करके या फिर जो भी इश्यूज है फिक्स करके उसको हमारे खुद के अकाउंट में मर्ज रिक्वेस्ट करने के लिए पुल रिक्वेस्ट क्रिएट किया है. आई जस्ट गो, आई कैन आइदर व्यू पुल रिक्वेस्ट, सी द चेंजेस इन द कोड एंड एवरीथिंग कि मैंने कौन से पेज पे कहाँ का चेंजेस किए हैं, एंड देन आई कैन क्लिक ऑन मर्ज पुल रिक्वेस्ट. सो बेसिकली मैंने एक अकाउंट से लाइक धीरज ने एक चेंजेस किए हैं इस रिपोजिटरी में, एंड देन ही सबमिटेड रिक्वेस्ट टू LaravelLive दिल्ली कि ओके आई हैव मेड दिस चेंज एंड देन यू कैन सबमिट दिस चेंज. सो ऑल द सॉफ्टवेयर दैट वी आर वर्किंग ऑन दैट वी से ओपन सोर्स, किसी एक का छोटा सा आइडिया होता है that I want to perform something and they put it on GitHub. Then Abhishek comes and he says, okay, this is nice software, but if we can add this feature, तो हम इसको और improve कर सकते हैं. Then अभिषेक same to same process follow करेगा. He will fork to his account, he will make the changes and then he will create a pull request to that main account. So मैं जो creator हूँ, जो मैंने एक feature develop किया था, then I'll see कि अभिषेक ने दूसरा feature request create करके मेरे account में add करने का try किया है, ठीक है? I'll validate his code, I will run everything, then I will merge his code and I will release new version of my software with new feature. So this is how open source ecosystem works. And entire thing that we are seeing at this moment is entirely contributed 99% I think free or 100% free by developers like me and you. This is being done around the world. ये स्टार्ट कैसे हुआ था? जिन्होंने लिनक्स बनाया था उन्होंने ही गिट बनाया और उन्होंने ही ये सारा सिस्टम बनाया जस्ट टू लाइनस टॉर्वेल्विस. उन्होंने ही ये लिनक्स का एक बेसिक सिस्टम बनाया एंड देन ही पुट इट ऑन द ओपन सोर्स एंड देन एवरीवन एल्स फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड started contributing it, and today Linux is like one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, the biggest OS that we have at the moment. So this is possible just because of open source. Like Linux को Mac OS या फिर Windows अभी तक compete नहीं कर पाए हैं because it is not a mind of one company or one organization. It is the distributed mind from around the world. So that makes the open source ecosystem very much powerful. So मैंने यहाँ पे merge कर दिया है. So अब तक ये GitHub पे live हो चुका होगा. Let's check our website. See on the page it got updated automatically. So this is how entire ecosystem of contribution works. So you have just seen किसी और account से हम किस तरह से open source like by putting our code open source we can accept the changes, we can accept their features and their coding expertise to our application software or whatever we have, and then we can let our software grow automatically. So like after this meetup anybody from you can come to our GitHub page, make the changes, make the pull request, and I just have to approve it and it will be live on the website. So this is all you have to do. इसमें हमने कोई भी कोडिंग की बात नहीं करी है. It can be any coding language, Laravel or Ruby on Rails. It doesn't matter. हमें अभी सिर्फ open source system का flow देखना था, and that we have seen. So this is how everything works in the open source. This is very tiny example. In a real scenario, there are multiple hierarchy of developers. After like who is the creator, like there will be 5 or 10 developer who are very expert in this software. There will be further 5-10 developer who will just do who will check your code quality, performance, everything before going to this stage and merging your code. Okay, हम directly ऐसे changes नहीं कर सकते, but इस तरह से के changes आप लोग कर सकते हो documentation में. If you want कि Laravel का documentation, if you want to update anything in the documentation, you don't have to write any test or anything like that. So अगर आपको लगता है कि documentation का कोई part confusing है और आप उसको और अच्छे से लिख सकते हो, then you can contribute directly in their open source GitHub profile, GitHub account, or wherever they have hosted this. This way you can start. This way you will gain the confidence that you have done some open source contribution, and वो आपका जो code है सारी दुनिया पढ़ेगी अगले release में. So this is how everything works. And then when you will start gaining the confidence, you can go into the coding part. हो सकता है कुछ pull request आपके rejects हो जाए, but the community is so good, they will not reject you on face. They will give you entire feedback how things can be done. They all are very supportive. So I think you should start. If you have not done, you can start right from the Bagisto that we are having this open source software. We are having lots of issues and bugs and everywhere around in all the open source software. So we can right away start anytime. So this is all. My name is Dheeraj, and thank you all. Thank you for having time.
I have also created a PR.
Okay, let me. Last chapter. Okay, adding Hacktober chapter. you have made the changes. Pull, update the code and push again.
Let's do that in the next talk.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Abhishek. This is so easy. Everybody can do it, and this is mainly HTML, CSS language, so you should definitely do it. So thank you again. Bye.
This is what we call a slide hack going on right now. That we have a very good Dheeraj and we also have a real-time PR also. And I think we want to thank for the distribution and app that is taking the initiative and organizing this month as a Hacktoberfest where we all open source can all community can come together and contribute. And when we talk about Hacktoberfest, I also want to inform you that we also have labeled the issues as Hacktoberfest on Bagisto also. And this year we have decided that for every 4 PR that is going to be merged on Bagisto, we are going to plant one tree at the name of that particular user who has submitted 4 proposal papers. So I'll just invite everyone to just go on Bagisto repository also and check out the issues and if you can contribute, to contribute on that. So next topic is a very interesting topic right now. That's the difficulty CRM. So we have Mr. Suraj here who is going to explain about how and the importance of making a FOSS CRM in Laravel. So I want to invite Mr. Suraj.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, and thank you so much Mr. Pathak and Laravel Delhi community for allowing me to speak in this Hacktoberfest event as a speaker. So today my topic is building FOSS CRM in Laravel and its importance. So first of all, we came to know the idea of FOSS. So as you have all know, the FOSS means is free and open source software. It means it is freely available to all of the users to use it, implement it, modify it and distribute it as well as per its license category. The FOSS is very important for all kind of businesses and users who have just started and they cannot afford a very hefty amount of so many softwares which are organized by different kind of organizations and want to utilize them. So in the particular FOSS category, the beginners and the learners and the initial phase of the businesses can also utilize those softwares. So it is come in the particular category where you need not to worry about that you are making any kind of changes and you need to think that I cannot use that particular software. So it will allow you to freely use it and distribute it as well. Now we came to the introduction to the CRM. So CRM is customer relationship management, and it is a philosophy which allows different organizations to have a centralized system where they can have all kind of their customer data, their sales data, their synchronized different kind of departments, so that they can have a large revenue as well as they can have a systematic customer relationship as well. Because nowadays a customer retention and its information is very critical, because when you have a detailed information about a customer, then you can allow your different kind of teams to work collaboratively to define such a system or such a service which can directly impact that particular customer. So it means now when you are having a detailed data of a customer, you can have a direct collecting information, and you can build your services or product in such a way which are directly impacted or directly accepted by that particular customer as well. Now we came to know the importance of the CRM. So as I have mentioned earlier, that the CRM is a kind of a tool or a software which allow the different kind of departments to work collaboratively towards a customer's data. So when you implement such a system in your organization, now you have a detailed data of a customer as well. Apart from that, it will help you to grow your revenues as well and to retain the customers for a longer period of time as well. So now we have learned that what is FOSS software, what is CRM, the importance of CRM. Now why you should go ahead with the FOSS CRM? What is the need of a FOSS CRM? Because there are so many giants available in the CRM industry which are having their proprietary software at their end, which are good as well. You cannot say that they are not good. Obviously they can fulfill your need. Then why we need a FOSS CRM? So its idea behind of it, it has already came into the name itself, the FOSS, the free and open source software, where a learner or a business who have just started their business can utilize the FOSS software at their end and can build their business from the ground up. Because when you have just started the business, so obviously you are not having that kind of budget at your end where you can spend a lot of amount to acquire the certain license of big CRM softwares. So in the beginning, you must be having a very limited amount of budget for spending all of your activities of the business, and you cannot distribute a large chunk of that budget to just to have or just to acquire a certain CRM software. Apart from that, every business does not come with a funding itself. There are so many businesses who have just started bootstrap only. So in that case, they have to earn and burn. It means first they need to earn at their end, and accordingly once they earn something, then they need to burn it accordingly as per their capacity. So to help those businesses, to those people who have just started and want to start, the FOSS CRM is a must-have for those kind of businesses. So now we came to know that we need to build a CRM software, that is FOSS, so that that can be accepted by all the people. But why to choose the Laravel? There are so many other languages, platform available where you can build your own CRM software. So here it is the great power of the Laravel community, why it is so popular among the people, because when you have more eyes at your end to look after your software which you have developed, when you have more people to utilize your software openly, when you have more people to collaborate on a particular software, so it is the power of the Laravel, which is backed by a large community at their end, so that you need to worry about that what I'm going to do at the end of that, or what is the feature of my software once I build it. It means if you have a capable software available in the beginning, then the people will collaborate to your software, people will build your software from their efforts, and after a long period of time it will grow so that it can compete with the large enterprises and the large licensed softwares which came with a hefty amount of licensing cost. So Laravel is having such kind of advantage. Apart from that, Laravel is having the Blade template engine, it is having artisan CLI, and it is having Laravel mix as well. So it is not only dependent on community, that it is backed by the large community, but it is having advantage of tech stack as well. Apart from that, once you are having a respective software available at your end, so it means because every business is unique at their end, so once you build something at their end, so it is very difficult for the people to accept it as it is. So it means all business need some kind of modification at their end so that they can utilize that particular software. So once you are having a Laravel kind of large development community available at your end, so it is very easy for a business to find the people who can make modification to that particular software as per their business requirement, so that they can utilize that particular software with a very high potential. So you must be thinking that, okay, everything is good, FOS software is good, CRM software is good, now we are going to build it in Laravel so that we can have all the advantages of the Laravel. But if I tell you that we are already having a solution at our end, which is a FOSS software, which is a CRM software that is built on FOSS principles, and it is built on top of Laravel as well, then the solution is the Crane CRM. It is built by the Webkul software, and it is a FOSS software, it is a CRM software and built on top of Laravel. So it means you need not to pay any kind of amount to utilize or use this software. You need not to pay any kind of amount to implement this software in your organization. You need not to pay any kind of amount to modify your software. As apart from that, it is also all the advantages of the Laravel community, the FOSS community, which I have mentioned earlier, it fall in all those categories as well. We have launched this software quite some time ago, and apart from that, there are so many collaborators who are actively collaborating on this particular software, and we have launched a couple of versions of it as well, and now it is more stable due to the support of the community, and it is having some stats as well. For example, it is having more than 1.1k stars on GitHub. Not only the stars, it is having more than 6.2k downloads over the GitHub as well. It means it is not a kind of system which is not being used by the community. It is being used by the community. The people are downloading it, people are using it, people are exploring it, and it is a kind of a software where the small businesses can utilize it as a full potential and utilize the Laravel community at their end, so that they can have a better organization at their end, they can have a better CRM software at their end, so that will help the respective business to achieve their bigger goals. For example, for a business, it might be just the increase of the revenue. But for other business, it might be the retention of the customer. For a business, it might be to build their softwares, solutions or product in such a way so that they can target the right audience or the right customer who can accept their softwares, and in the long run they will achieve their bigger goals. So that's it for this particular talk. And if you are having any questions, then you can ask me. Apart from that, you can visit the respective GitHub page to check that what we have built. You can download it, you can utilize it at your end, you can install it at your end, and don't forget to star it. Obviously, that is very needed at this point of time because we need some marketing so that most of the people can utilize it. Most of the people will aware about it. You can tweet about it. You can write a LinkedIn post about it, and that's it. Any question?
Can you elaborate a little more on clients providing due to some structure like proposals?
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, Crane is a CRM software. So it is built on the CRM principles. It is having where you can add your customers. Here you can add your leads as well. And apart from that, as it is open source, so it is having all the advantages of open source as well. You can easily build integrations at your end, and you need not to pay any kind of amount to utilize it at your end. You can just download it, set up it on your server, and can start your CRM journey at your end by setting it up. And we are having detailed guidelines available, or user guides and video tutorials available to help you out. Not only that, we are completely available at Webkul, that if you are having any kind of question, you can raise a support request and we'll get back to you for any kind of question, whether it is installation related concerns or whether it is your workflow related concerns, and we'll get back to you on that particular part. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity again, and thank you.
धीरज वाला एक बार चेक कर लो, धीरज का चेक कर लो कि चल रहा है कि नहीं उसके सिस्टम से। Hi everyone. Okay, so we are present here to for a meetup Hacktoberfest, right? With association with the Laravel Delhi team and the Bagisto, right? So just I would like, before proceeding with my talk, I would like to understand the audience audience sizes on the Laravel, right? So how much members are very familiar with the Laravel? Can you please raise your hands? Okay. Anybody who is just joining first time does not have any knowledge about the Laravel? We are not. Think. Okay, so today actually we are going to learn some tips, tricks and good practices in Laravel. So for this one actually we require to have some basic understanding of the Laravel as well as the PSP, right? Who know what is PSP? Anybody? Only one person know, what is PSP? Very strange. No? Just a PSP. Have you ever listened about the PSP? Okay. जी बिल्कुल स्क्रिप्टिंग लैंग्वेज पीएचपी की बात कर रहे हैं हम ओके सो फॉर दिस टॉक एक्चुअली you does not require to have very excellency in the PSP as well as in the Laravel, right? So I'm hoping that you could be doing some of the daily tasks with the Laravel framework, right? So it could be just intent to convey you some tips and tricks to do the things that what you are doing already in a better way, right? So in this talk there could be some rapid topics where we could be able to spend couple of minutes only, right? And there could be some details topic that we can discuss in a little detail, okay? And if you have any question throughout the talk, please take a note, okay? And after the talk we can take up the question one by one, okay? Any early comments? Is it fine? Yeah. Finally, we are able to set up the presentation, and hopefully it could be going to run smoothly from here. So just wishing. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, people always run for the perfection, right? But in a reality, perfection is not going to be achieved on any moment, right? So perfection is a goal that will forever remain impossible for any human being to achieve. Therefore, the only achievable goal to only strive to become the best that you can possibly be. So मतलब इसका ये है कि आप perfection की तरफ ना रहे हमेशा कि हाँ जी हम perfect हो चुके हैं या फिर perfect होंगे तब deliver करेंगे कुछ, है ना? We should be consistently focus about the improvement day by day basis, right? So let's just start here. So my name is Vikas Pathak. So I am having around 13 years of experience in IT industry, and mostly I am familiar with the PHP, JavaScript, .NET and Golang languages, and also their respective frameworks, right? So along with my colleagues who is already in present here, like Lakwinder, Navi, Jaswinder sir and Nitin, actually we are trying to coordinate with the Laravel Punjab community. Okay. Okay, so the first question here. Since you have taken your precious time from the personal space, we can say today is the Saturday. Mostly it could be occupied with your family and friends, right? Can we get a little attention from the last row, please? Okay, thank you. So I'm hoping everybody could be just join us from here to learn something from here, right? So what do you think? What you will get by today from this talk? Just I would like to know a general perception from everybody. Anybody would like to share their thought?
Like getting more by doing less or something smartly.
Okay.
Or some additional tricks and tips which we are not familiar with, which are rare, only experts know like you. And something that is helpful for the performance as well. And all the some good practices on the Laravel, which might be experts who are following. So we'd like to know.
Some good practices as well which we can apply throughout, not just in
Thanks, Abhishek. Thanks, Dheeraj. Anybody else? What do you think? What you will be going to learn today? Sir, you. Yeah. Just sit and say. That's fine.
Firstly, what is the Laravel and how can code smartly easy use?
Good, good. Anybody would like to speak from first row?
Yeah, how we optimize our code.
Okay.
Coding standards.
Okay.
How to reduce our code.
Okay. Anybody else?
I would really focus on the word smart.
Okay.
How are we going to make our code smart?
Okay. So since from the first slide, I would try to convey the thoughts that we are not going to follow any tutorial here. This is not a topic related to going from the start and closing at a moment. We will try to pick the topics randomly from where we feel that there are something that you are doing on a daily basis that could be optimized in a certain way that could be able to deliver smartly, right? So just I would like to set your assumptions or expectation in the right direction, right? Okay. So let's start. So today we are going to learn about the techniques that helps to expand the possibilities, right? You can see this image. Generally, if you are a developer, then I'm hoping it could be going from any part of your life. It is going to be happen with you. Very surprised. I think it should be good here. Okay. I think text is not readable. But sometimes what happened? We were trying to deploy something on the last moment on the server, right? This could be general circumstances that could be possibly happen with everyone here if you are a developer. And we were thinking that this is going to be deployed and this is going to work this time. This build is going to work this time. This build is going to work this time. And we had run through this process again and again. And after 4 hours, we are expecting the same, that this is the last build going to be work on the server, right? So this is called a single choice that we are just expecting by pushing up the similar things again and again by making some smaller changes over there, right? So this is what we are trying to think about the other possibilities that we have, right? Okay. So let's start from here. So if you have already familiar with the Laravel or PHP, you are already familiar with the for each loop, right? What do you think? What is for each in a Laravel, or what is for each in PHP? Anybody? Yes. So this is not very same. This could does the iterative task in both of the places, but in in conceptual level, this is not the same. How? So with the Laravel for each will come up with the loop variable, right? It could be come up with the loop variable, and with the loop variable, loop is some kind of the standard class object of the PHP, right? So it come with them is some certain meta functionalities that you could be able to achieve, like you could be able to get the index, you could be able to get the iteration number, you could be able to get the remaining numbers, something like that one. I am 100% sure, I mean the developers who are sitting around here, I mean they have used the for each loop just to iterate the things, not to use this kind of stuff. And where is the problem? It is going to impact on your performance side, right? Let's take an example. So this is the loop that is iterating over the 10,000 elements here. Let me try to run one more time. It may take a few seconds to up the server, right? It is run. Okay, so here you can see this is the loop that is running with the 10,000 elements here, right? And it is, we had not done anything here, just we had printed the stuff here. Okay? So in a reality here you can see it has been taken around 6 MB of space, right? Now coming back to the loop that we have, that could be built with the Laravel, and let's see what would be happen. Sorry, it looks like it has been changed a lot. Just give me a second. Let me confirm the sizes of the loop, right? So we should be, sure that, it is just operating on the 10,000 elements. Let me try to do that one. Is this fine? Okay. Okay, so just allow me a few seconds. I would like to confirm the things first, right? Before to commit here. Okay, so here you can see this is just a PHP loop that is running with a repeat PHP, and what we have with the Laravel here, repeat blade, right? So if we are checking the things here, so you could be able to notice the thing, and just get this done. So here you can see with the PHP it is just taking 3 MB of space, right? Just 3 MB, and this is the loop that is running, and it has been taken up utilize the things that is coming up with the forest directive, right? With the Laravel. This is very recommended. Not use them in Laravel directive, right? Okay. Let's proceed further. So we should not, spend much time here. It could be some more topics could be coming up. Okay.
With both the codes, how we are using it in the directive.
Yeah, this is the PSP that we have used, and sorry, this is the PSP and this is the blade.
You can place side by side.
Okay. So we could be able to do by the splitting the things, right?
That's control.
So similar kind of stuff we are doing it here, right? All the same things. You could be give it a try at your side, okay? Let me proceed with the talk, else it will be going to be almost 2 hours. Okay. So sorry for that. So the next question here. Let's suppose if you are on a vacation for the Laravel, not for the Laravel. If you are on a vacation with the family or friends, right? And there is a command that is going to interrupt you day by day, right? Or in an hourly basis, or even we can say in a minute basis. Right? So what should be the better way to handle those kind of stuff? What do you think? Scheduler could be used for the scheduling the command. That should be fine. Cron tabs. This is just an entry, one entry Laravel provide to just you add a single entry in a cron tab, and thereafter Laravel is doing all the rest of the stuff, right? So generally, what we were doing, to be honest, we were just adding the conditions in a command basis or on the job basis to check if this is eligible in this time, thereafter that run this functionality else return, right? But in Laravel we have the flexibility that we could be able to even use the skip command, right? So wherever you are scheduling the command, you could be able to use the skip functions from there. So it could be here, this is just a callback, right? But any invocable object could be pass it from here. When we say invocable, it means a class that could be have the invoke function, right? Okay, so apart from that, if you could be able to see the official documentation from the Laravel, there could be multiple more flexibility could be available. Like by which duration you would like to run. You could be also specify the when. Anybody know how the scheduler is working for the Laravel?
Yeah, they add one cron tab entry for every minute, and then Laravel decides internally what goes to the cron tab.
Yeah, that's correct. So this is a good flexibility from the Laravel. I'm not 100% sure that other frameworks are providing a similar kind of flexibility over there. Okay. Next, possible to insert update records in a database without dispatching the model events. Who are familiar with the model events here? So yeah, thank you. So mainly when we are doing any transactions on the Laravel, either on the factory transaction or either on the transaction at the model level, or either even we are dispatching the emails, right? Laravel always fires some kind of the events. It could be some events could be fired before performing the action. Some events could be fired after performing the action, right? So most of the times we have done, let's suppose we are just inserting a dummy records. Why we need such kind of events to be fired over there, right? Most of the times we are just doing the bulk update or bulk insert. We might not require such kind of events, right? So in this case, actually recently Laravel has added a couple of nice functions here. Like with the factories, you could be able to use create one quietly. So it could be available start.quietly method, right? So this could be available with the factories level, or if you would like to invoke on the model level, then here you can see there is a command, there is a function called without events, right? On the model level here, we have another function. If you are going to, update a single record, update quietly, right? Next. So I'm 100% sure this is going to be answered by 90% of audience. So there is single command to generate multiple entities like controller, model, factories, events, etc. What it is?
And it's a make command, and we can use a flag, some flag like M for model, C for controller, F for factory, and A for all. So this kind of a flag we can use.
Yes. So this was the common thing that we were following before releases of couple of things, right? Now we have the all commands, -- all, right? So all could provide you flexibility to create almost all kind of object that you would like to do, right? Next. So this is just a simple Laravel statements, right? I would like to know the output of the active products and inactive products here. What do you think? What should we count here? So in a database here you can see there are 6 inactive products and there are 10 active products, right? And these are the couple of statements has been given it here. And in the last here you can see we would like to get the products based on their status. So what do you think? What should be the value for this active product? And what should be the value for this inactive product? Any guess? What should be this one? And what should be this one? Okay, so how many records should be there in a collection? What do you think? I'm just talking about the counts.
Okay, inactive are 6 and active are 10.
Are you sure?
In database products are
Can you please zoom it and say it?
I'm not sure how I could be able to zoom it. Let me try. It is not allowing me. No. So generally the problem here, with the Laravel query builder, this is the query builder object that is going to modify it in this place. And again you are trying to access with this query builder by using the status equal to 0. So in this case, this could have returned the correct value here. In case of the 10, it should return the 10. But in case of the inactive, it could be returned 0. Right? So generally what we follow? Generally we created a separate variable and could store the instance of the query builder, and thereafter we could process the next query. But there could be a very simple way to do this one, right? So there is a method now available with the clone, and it could not modify the base query. It could be just modify whatever the query that is running on this space, then it could return the objects or products, right? Next. So actually this is a question that that might be required a little attention from you guys, right?
I have a question for previous.
Yes.
Like if you are using the first query for active, and second for inactive, right? So I am using, there is using a two query or a single query?
So here you can see this is the query builder that is coming from the top, right? It might be possible that you have added multiple conditions over there. So here you can see there is a method called clone, right? So in this term, this query builder is not going to modify, right? This will be create a separate instance, and this will be associated with that one and will return the result, right? Yes. Okay. So now coming to this point, I think everybody is familiar with what we have, the eloquent, right? Yes sir, we are coming to you. So everybody should be familiar with the eloquent if you are working with the Laravel, right? So as like I mean, there could be some standard objects and there could be some eloquent. In a very first impression, I think you could be, I mean, assume that, I mean, eloquent could be come up with some more flexibility or the functionalities, right? Sometimes what we are doing, not sometimes, it could be the most of the times. What we are doing, we are taking the data from the database, right, as a collection, and we are returning the same objects to the further processing. Do you think it could be required? Right? If you'd like to use the functionality of eloquent, then return the collection, right? So this is the single example. Let me run through with this one, and we can see the difference over there, right? So allow me to go to the code again. Okay. So here you can see I'm just going to get records of, let's suppose I'm just getting records of 100 users, right? So this is the write statement, right? Now let me go to the code once again. This is going to get, I mean, 1 to 100 records, right? From the range, it will be picked by 1 to 100 records, and there is a simple condition on ID, right? And it is returning over here. Okay. Now let me increase numbers a little bit. So it should say 10,000, right? Now let me try to refresh and see. Okay, so just focus on this number, right? The memory that it is going to be used. Okay, so it is 34 MB at this moment. Now I am increasing a little bit more, just to show the difference in clarity. Okay, so let's see what would be happen. And let me show you how it could be, I mean, iterated on the view part as well. So there is no any difference here. We are, I mean, just taking the users from there, right, and iterating over here, and just printing the address and something else, right, the name and the address. Okay, it looks like it is still going on. Okay. Let me decrease a little bit, then try it. Okay, so just let's start with 10,000 objects. Okay, and we could be able to create the difference, and thereafter it will not going to happen in a much difference. Then we will try with the more records over there, right? So just keep a note. There are 39 MB of memories it is allocating at this moment. Okay, and what we have done, we have just taking up the objects from the database, sending it to view, and just iterating over the objects and displaying the stuff, right? This is a simple stuff that we are doing generally in a Laravel to printing any record on a view side, right? Okay, so let's see what is the pros and cons of the Eloquent to having it over here. Just let me change it to 2 base and see the magic here. Okay, actually it looks like I have used something on the view side that could be creating the problem. Let me delete this one. Okay, so here you can see the difference now, right? There are only 22 MB. Previously, we were having 39 MB of data that is coming from just using the Eloquent object, the collection of the Eloquent, right? Now we have just converted the Eloquent objects to standard PSP objects by just using the 2 ways. So if you think there is no unnecessary needed for them in Eloquent object in a view, let's try to convert in a standard PSP object, and it could be going to save a lot of time or data, right? In terms of the response, in terms of the memory of the application as well, right? Should I proceed next? So here some of the examples has been given it here, and there is one more thing. There is one more interesting thing it here. So right now we have used a wherein. ID is an integer kind of stuff that has been given in a database. But when you are going to access such kind of numeric values with the wherein, it is going to consume a little more data. Let's see how. So here we are getting the data of 22 MB, right? Just using the wherein. Now let's use this one, where integer in row. And let's see what would be going to be happening. 19 MB. We did not do any kind of magic here, right? We had just changed the way that we are trying to query throughout the database, and it has been saved a 3 MB space here right now.
What happened internally? Like
Yes, during the query side. Yes, and after querying, it could be also retrying the data from there, right? So there could be some way to cast the objects, cast the attributes. So previously it was just considering the ID as a string when we are using with the wherein. It has just converted as a integer, and it has been saved 3 MB here.
okay, so in the query, instead of passing it as a string, it passed as an
Integer, that's correct. Yes. And here you can see it has been saved a 3 MB out of 22 MB, right?
10% at least, more than 10%.
Yeah, more than 10%. Okay, so now proceeding it further. So I'm 100% sure. A couple of members have been try to get a single records with the has many, right? There could be multiple chances, or it could be requirement of the project or the business of the business requirement of the application, right? Where we will have to get just a single record out of has many. We had tried in a multiple ways, right? So let's see what we could be able to do in this side. So Laravel has came up with this is just from the Laravel 8.x, right? So the Laravel has came up with the functionality of many, right? So here you can see you could be able to define the function inside the model that is called latest order, and it could be just query on the has one on latest many, right? So by using this one, you could be able to get the latest one, you could be get the oldest record. Yes.
In the last example, you have used in laws. Instead of using in law, you could have used like where ID less than equal to 10,000.
Where are you talking about? On this one?
In the last example.
Yes.
Instead of wherein, you could have used where ID less than equal to 10,000.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I got your point. This could be just going to decrease the query size.
It will take around significantly less than this one.
Yeah, actually, this could be just a difference in the sizes. But if you have noticed, we had used the same queries on both of the cases, right? Either with the two ways or either without two ways. Also, with the wherein we were tried the same queries. Without wherein we had tried the same queries. But this is a good point that instead of passing up the range, right, we could be pass this one, less than or greater than.
This would be more useful when you have a collection of IDs rather than a set restriction. So less than 10,000 is a set restriction.
Yes, that's correct. So when the range is given, this is just not, just the intention in case you are going to filter out the data, right? If you have used the Scout or any other search engine, what they are doing, they are just preparing the queries, and thereafter they are getting the IDs of that entities, and thereafter they provide getting the records from the database. This is the core concept of how it is working with the
But we should avoid using in laws.
sorry.
We should avoid using in laws if like IDs containing more than around thousands of records.
Yeah.
We should avoid using in laws.
Agreed. But here we would just like to show the differences between the wherein and wherein row, right? Where we had saved 3 MB here, right? What you are asking, what you are suggesting, that is totally fine. We should use restricted stuff over there. But to understand the thing, how it is working with the wherein, how it is working with the wherein row, wherein integer row, that's why we had created the range here, right? So, I mean, here you can see this is just, I mean, looking sequential. I could be able to change it randomly, right? We are just trying to pass a set of parameters to the there with a range, and this is the very simple way to do that one. That has been it has been started with a 1. Instead of using the random value, we had just added 1 on 10,000. It could be anything, right? Because when you are going to search the record, it could IDs could be, I mean, the list of the IDs could be very different. Agreed? Sir, does this answer your question?
मैं सही है, हमें करना ही नहीं चाहिए ना, अगर मान लो कि 5000 रैंडम नंबर्स होते हैं लिस्ट में, 500
जी।
इसमें हमें 5000 भी रो तो कभी नहीं है।
अगर 5000 रैंडम नंबर होते तो हम
10,000 के बीच में 5000 हम निकालते हैं रैंडम नंबर
जी।
स्टिल हमें मतलब इन रोज उसके फिर भी यूज करना है।
So, I mean, what should be the possible way in that case?
डिपेंड करता है कि मतलब किस सिचुएशन क्या है, वी कैन यूज लाइक दैट ज्वाइन, डिपेंड करता है स्टिल हमें इन रोज कभी यूज करना है, क्योंकि लाइक हमारा एक प्रोडक्ट है वेबस्टॉर्म में किया हुआ है, उसका अराउंड किसी ने
So,
10,000 कैटेगरी जनरेट की।
agreed.
हमें करना पड़ेगा।
Agreed. Let me decrease the count here. Instead of saying it 10,000, let me say is 100. What do you think now? Let me say it 10. What do you think now? So let's think all this example between 1 and 10. Right? So I mean, for here we don't concern about these numbers, right? I could be able to change the number. Just we would like to see the difference between the varying and varying integer row. The performance of these two functionalities. Right? We can change the figures, right? Figure is not a discussion here anyway. Agreed? Okay, let me proceed next. Thank you. So we were here to getting the latest from the as many records. So this is the very simplest way that could be provided with us by the Laravel to us. There are couple of features, a couple of new methods could be introduced that could
make our life a little easier. When we have to show the last login of the user, we will have to show the recent login of the user, right? Or anything that would be going to be, you could be able to think the same, right? Then we will have to just get a single record out of the multiple relationship, right? So it could be latest one, it could be oldest one, or it could be on demand. What do you think? Right? Now, so for the debugging, generally we use DD, right? So what we are doing, generally most of the members try to just follow getting the records from the database, executing the query, and thereafter putting the collection inside the DD, or yes.
There is a start and listen. We can even listen a DB from the listen. We can listen a query log.
Yes, I was just coming to that point. So you could be also able to use the telescope. Telescope is just built on the same concept. Just by using the model events, just observe the model events and log the data. Right?
when you say listen the model as stuff, it could be just listening the model events, right? Either it could be creating or deleting or anything else. So generally as a
developer, what we are doing? We are just getting the queries and then after doing rest of the stuff on the class, right? Or we can do 2SQL. 2SQL is very famous. But there could be also going to be done by just a DD. Right? And if you would like to know a little more about what happening on the DB side, you may be able to add explain, right? This is very similar to the explain that we have on this MySQL side. It could be a retry the list of the indexes are going to be used anything else are going to be used, right? So instead of just getting or debugging the collection, let's actually debug the query, right? Next. So generally what we are doing on the collections, generally we are converting model objects or eloquent collections into the collection, and thereafter printing the inserting by using the there could be a very simple helper method could be available to convert an array of elements, PHP elements to the collection that is called collect. Right? But is it possible to just by using a certain collection number and he could be able to convert in a query builder and could be able to insert into the database? Let's suppose there is a requirement that on the 46th number we would like to just provide an option. User will click on this 46th row, that collection will be going to be inserted into the table. Right? So, sorry about that one, changing the concept here, that will be coming on into the later. This is just about, as like in a model we have, first or create, update or create. Now we have the collection that we could be able to get or put. Right? Okay.
This is a little nice one. I think most of the members have seen this one, right? So there could be various circumstances where you have the complex validation on some of the attributes, and if you would like that some strict system, if you would like to return to the user some kind of exception if it could be failed on just the first place, right? So you know that on the first place if it is going to be happen, it could be going to run a little complex stuff on that part. You have created a little complex validation, but if you would like to reach the request onto that complex validation, if it could be getting passed from the some certain kind of stuff first, right? So there could be some easy attribute could be available here. It could be called validator, right? Bell, right? So if you would like to add this on the attribute level, this could be available. If you would like to add this on the request class level, this attribute could be set as to could help us, right? Stop on first failure. This could be a simple attribute here. Okay, this could be a little simple one, right? If you are not sure that blade file is exist, if you would like to include in the blade in the view, there could be a couple of simple methods. Let's not create a mystery here and move forward here. So we have couple of directives here to include the files, blade files. Call include if, include when, and include first, right? So if you have any question on any of the topic, please keep it.
Okay, and we can discuss a little bit in a later on. Right. Okay, so this is one of the interesting stuff. We can see this could be a simpler. If you would like to hide a couple of commands that you have privately created to doing some kind of stuff, but you do not like to
expose such command. When generally what happening when you are running PHP artisan list, it is displaying the list of the commands, right? But if you would like to hide such kind of a private command to be listed over there, that could be a hidden property could be able to insert over there with the command. So by using this, it will be not going to be listed over there. Okay. Okay. So coming into the same, actually this is very specific for the specific to the version. So coming on the same way, if you would like to hide a certain column, should not be appear if you are running select star from. right, on the database side. Even actually this is not recommended in the Laravel system. If you are even if there could be just 10 fields or 11 fields or 12 fields, there should be in a system. If you would like to get the fields, you should have to exercise. Please do not leave it as a star, with a star. Else it is going to create the problem, right? So whenever you are setting up the migration, let's add invisible over there. And this is very specific for the version, right? This could be started with the Laravel 8.7.8 and MySQL above 8.0.23. Okay, I have not tried this one, so you may give it a chance. Okay. So yeah, actually I was in the context of this one. Let's think about this. I would like to get your inputs on this one. So let's suppose we have the list of the users, and we are in the iteration, and we would like to just insert if the collection is on 7th or the 20th or 46th or anywhere else, right? What's the correct path? The very simple path that you could be able to map the collection or pass the stuff to the save function, or map the object with the attributes, right? And thereafter could call the save function, right? But there could be a simplest way. It could have that you can just run the query from the collection object, right? Okay. It is just converting collection to query builder. Okay, so how many members are familiar with the isDirty method? Okay, okay. And what is the intent for this one? What is the actual functionality for isDirty? Okay, so this is this could provide a check if the certain record has not been modified throughout the function. Let's suppose if you would like to do the similar stuff on the attribute level, right? So there is a function called original is equivalent. It will just return true or false if it could be equivalent for the given one. Okay, so these are a couple of tweaks over there. Now let's see a couple of very small and cool features of the Laravel 9, right? So now the accessor and mutators have the new form. Previously we were just defining it by the get attribute name, set attribute name, but now it is a little simplex. As how many members are familiar with the .NET MVC? So more or less, this is the concept has been driven from there, right? So now you could be able to just use the attribute class to just get and set the stuff. Next one, selected and checked. This is the very most using, directive might be going to be have, because in a forms we could have the multiple input boxes, we could have the multiple select boxes, right? But now it is available with the Laravel 9.x. So you could be just use them selected or checked to fill the older record, older value. This is also one of the cool feature, like conditional migrations on columns and tables. So this could be very similar like we have on the SQL side, if exists, right? So if you are defining like this one, it could be very equivalent. It could be just confirming each exist is something, right? On that side. So this could be on the column side, this could be on the table side, and it could be just confirming has column. There is one more thing that could be very impressive here by using a scalar method. So what happening, so most of the timing, we just would like to get a single value. Sum of the entity, something else, right? Even in that case, we will have to execute the complete query and thereafter have to get the results, and we will have to get a particular attribute from there. It could be little easier to just creating another change to get the attribute. It could be just returning an attribute by itself. Okay. And this is one of the this is one of the coolest things. You could be able to cache the attribute. So if you are doing multiple calculation on a single attribute, you could be able to cache it, right? It could be save a little performance stuff. Okay, this is a very last question, right? Do you think with is the solution for every scenario for the each n+1 query issue? Have you heard previously n+1 query issue? We have some kind of issue in the Bagisto as well. Might be team could be already been aware of Bagisto team. What do you think? What should be the possible solution for that one? Okay, good. Any comments? Eager loading is the stuff. Eager loading, with the width, we are doing the eager loading, right? Anything else? Do you think you are utilizing the width what it should be? Lazy loading, okay. Do you think lazy loading, okay, eager loading, lazy loading. Okay. One could create the problem and another could solve the problem. Okay. So most of the times what we are doing, we are just passing the model name. Do you think with the model name there could be some other flexibility could be also available? Sometimes what happening, we just need to show a single field over there, right? But still we are passing the complete object over there, just with width. But there should be flexibility with the Laravel that you could be able to specify the field name along with the column value with each of the relationships, right? Have you heard about the width count? What it is? Okay. So width count, yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Width count generally used to get the count from the relationship, right? If you would like to show the number of posts has been posted by a single user, right? So in case you are getting the list of the users, you would like to show the number of posts along with that, you can use the width count. Right? Let's show the example. This is the last one, sorry for time. It looks like we are taking a little long time, but please bear with me. Okay, so here we have, let's decrease the value here. Right? So when we are going in a blade, it is just displaying the list of the posts. Number of posts has been created by each user. So let's refresh this one, and we could be able to see the number of posts along with the users. Right? So here you can see this user has been posted just a single post. This user have 3 posts here. This user has 4 posts. And in the performance perspective here you can see this is just running a single query. I think everyone should be aligned with this one. Right? So it is getting the records from the first table, also getting the counts from the relational table. But there is a small difference here you can see, you could be able to notice if you are a developer. Here you can see it is just running a subquery. Subquery is the problem here. Right? So Laravel has provided the with count, but it is not very helpful in all the scenario. This is the problem here. This is the thing that should be known. Right? So if you would like to avoid such kind of scenario, we should use the row commands. Right? Let's see. Okay, so let me just refresh the page to see it. You can see there is no difference in the result at this moment, right? But here you can see there is a slight difference in a query building, right? Now it is using join instead of subquery. And subquery is going to degrade your performance, application performance, request performance, right? So if you are thinking that could be, with count is going to resolve your problem, this is not going to be happen, right? So for this scenario, you could be able to, just use the left join and could be able to operate on that part, right? Okay, so thanks for bearing with me. So these are the some of the quick summary that we have learned today. Instead of using the for each, we should be able to use the basic for each loop, flexibility with the skip schedule, where we could be able to schedule or skip the command on the given period. We have the quietly method that could be available, where you could be able to use either with the model or either with the factory, where you would not like to fire the model events, right? So, and with the artisan you could be able to use all to create much more entities with the Laravel, right? And there are a couple of some new commands, new features that we have got with the Laravel 9.x. So thanks for your time. Just I am expecting for if you have any questions, then we can take up from here. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
All good. Thanks. Okay, so Navi this side, I put up in Delhi, and I've been working with Laravel since last 5 years plus, I would say. And then yeah, basically performance. Who doesn't like a performant website or speed of the web application? Basically, it's I would say the heart of any web application and user experience basically. So yeah, so I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, how performance, at what stage of the startup performance would start, mattering? Like initially, at that time of MVP, we might have some, shortcuts that we might not follow some of the performance suggestions. But then, as soon as we get some user base, and then the performance basically gets the matter of discussion because it impacts the conversions and traffic at the same time. So basically, as you could see, the Walmart experienced some 2% better conversions by just improving their response time by 1 second. And then same, anecdote with the Pinterest, where they, increase their traffic by 15% by just reducing their response time by 40%. Same with BBC. It directly impacts the traffic as well as the conversions of any web service. So regarding, why performance matters basically. So conversions, as I discussed before, is one thing for any SaaS startup or any web application. User experience basically matters a lot. No one likes slow loading websites and on their mobile. As we know, there's not much bandwidth available. So if we can respond to the client with in the minimal amount of bytes, and then basically that's the performant way of doing that. And then as we discussed before, mobile here, we don't have much bandwidth, as well as there could be some intermittent network issues as well. So if the API or web application is resilient enough, then basically it again impacts the performance. And then SERP basically stands for search engine ranking position. So Google also prefers performant websites, and it ranks it higher. And so yeah, basically search engine ranking position directly relates to the traffic it's it's bringing to our website, organic traffic basically. And so how do we look for the improvements? Where do we look for the improvements? Here, for example, we can use some kind of APM tools, application monitoring performance tools, to get the bottleneck, where the bottleneck is, and if it could be at any layer of the application, network layer, front-end side, application side, or could be DB side as well. So if we see on the layer side, today, our focus would be on the application and database side. On the network layer side, it mostly deals with the web server, Nginx or Apache, and there maybe it could be dependent on the hardware we use for hosting our web application. And then on the front end side, it could be on the framework we use for JavaScript basically. It could be as minimal as possible. And then on the application side, Laravel basically. And then DB could be any DB, MySQL goes much better with Laravel. Same with it could be any relational DB, Postgres or MySQL. So on the application level, as Vikas discussed before, N+1 queries could be one of the reason for slow performing websites. So to start with, basically queues. So if I need to ask anyone if they have any performance issues so far on their web application, and how they dealt with it on the application side. Could be anyone, like, I mean, could be on any layer basically. Out of these, I would say. So yeah, if you got any performance issue, then where the bottleneck was, like in any.
Sometimes if I'm searching, if I'm putting some query, like 10,000 query, it take some time. So this kind of performance issue I face.
10,000 number of queries you're saying?
Yeah, number of queries.
Okay, 10,000 number of records.
Yeah, 10,000 records.
Okay, so how did you resolve that issue basically?
Like I use in command, what I'm trying to do, like before that thing, which I don't know what is the meaning of it, and I'm just looping that query. Okay, so it will increase my obvious searching time and performance issue.
Okay.
So after in, I just put all the numbers like IDs. So it will like create only one query and it improves the value.
Yeah, basically reducing the number of queries, and this could be, I mean, we could find the number of queries or any kind of performance time, like how much each query is taking in terms of milliseconds or seconds using APM. And then, yeah, basically that could be a starting point. Like, how did you find it? Like, it was the query in the entire request cycle.
Like it taking time, for example, if I'm running something on my front-end side,
Okay.
taking time, so that time I find that like it's taking this query taking some time.
Okay.
So how to guys,
Good.
I just search on the Laravel and documentation, so find that this kind of things is here, so use that.
Got it.
Like it's a manual searching.
Yeah. So that was on the application side, I would say, or DB side.
It's a Laravel side.
Yeah, I mean, if we need to bifurcate both of those layers, and
It's a database.
since it's application, I mean, the queries was started by application only, then what do you think? I mean,
I think it started from application and last is database. I think.
yeah. So I would say like it's on the application side only, right? I mean, yeah. And if we need to focus on the Laravel side, then queues is one thing we can use. For example, you might have seen like as soon as we click submit some kind of form, submit button, and then it takes on some kind of websites, it takes some time to, I mean, get the response, success response basically. So and like on like major websites, you might have seen that sometimes like we get the response instantly, like without even waiting for a millisecond, I would say. And then basically here, like what is behind, what's working behind the scenes here is, I mean, we are making use of queues or messaging framework where like we generate some kind of a message request, and there we every message can have a payload or and there like a container where we need to submit the request. So there we could use queues in that case for submitting the forms as well as for uploading files as well. And for caching, basically caching could be on the application side as well as DB side. So Laravel provides a basic like facade cache, facade and helper as well in this, at the same time. So we can, it's basically a key value pair we can make use of. So every long running operation or like CPU intensive query we are making could be cached so that we can make use of this cache. Could be like can be active or can have a TTL of a few seconds or milliseconds, like based on the domain of the web application. So hot areas basically, which is the area like which is mostly visited or by the users. And OP cache on the other side basically it's a PHP extension, and then here basically what OP cache does is it compiles the PHP human readable PHP code into OP cache or bytecode, which basically what the machine understands, right? So here after we enable OP cache, then on every request, the web server doesn't need to compile the PHP code into machine code every time, because it's already there. And yeah, basically that's how it works. and yeah, use the latest and greatest, I mean, PHP and Laravel or whatever framework you are using versions. And I have some statistics here for Symfony. I mean, it's from Kissa. As you could see, I mean, the gradual increase of the request per second time here. For Symfony, basically, for 8.1, you could see it increased by almost 100 requests per second as soon as we just upgraded the PHP version. I mean, there was no change in code or anything. I mean, we just need to upgrade and we get the benefits of the community. And design patterns, I mean, just like Vikas shared as well, we can make use of, we can architecture like our application in such a way that it's performant basically. So for example, we can make use of actions or could be like it's subjective to the application basically. But then, I mean, that is some focus area we can look for as well. And then DB selects, basically, so while making some select queries in DB, we can make sure that we are just selecting the data we need. I mean, not just the entire select star from pages or something. So we can just get the data we need, and that should, I mean, keep a tab on memory as well. And when it comes to database, relational in this case, since I mean Laravel supports natively relational database only. So starting from like indexes, you know, I mean, if we have a million number of records in a MySQL DB, then I mean even the select queries are slow because due to some certain conditions maybe we have on the query. So indexes plays a good role in fetching the records, I would say. But then it's a counter-intuitive, I would say, in terms of inserting. Because if we have a huge number of indexes in a table, or like if we are indexing all the columns in the DB, then we can, basically it can slow down the inserts as well, because it needs to update indexes every single query. So eager loading, again, just like Vikas shared before, to just prevent n+1 queries, we can make use of eager loading. And for example, if we need to fetch a user of the post, like we have to display multiple posts and their users as well. So instead of like looping in the user, like instead of fetching the user with every page, a page query, like we can eager load and much before, like at the same time when we are loading pages as well. I mean, so far, I mean, do we have any query like from this page or any of the page? Anyone? No? Okay, in terms of like back to DB, we can understand the ORM much better, like which is eloquent in terms of Laravel. So, like for example, if we are like doing some query builder stuff, like doing queries on module as well, then we can export the SQL, actual SQL, the database would run basically, making use of 2SQL in the end. And then basically, we just need to understand the behind the scenes of any ORM as well. So yeah, basically just high level. I mean, we can go deep next time. Like I couldn't get time to prepare slides much this time, but then that is about ORM basically, and n+1 queries that's related to eager loading again, and then selects as well, like we have discussed before, and the pagination, like if just like I mean Manpreet shared, if anyone needs to fetch like bulk number of records from DB, could be pages or I mean any kind of record, then we can make use of pagination. So instead of like fetching it all of them at the same time and fiddling with the data in front end side, we can fetch anything that is needed. Otherwise, we can skip the records. Like here, do we have any questions or something? Okay. Here, do we have any questions? Okay, so recently, in the latest version of Laravel 9 itself, Laravel released the benchmark helper. Here, we can make use of the benchmark helper to. Okay, so here we are using DD, static method here of the benchmark. We can at the same time use measure as well. So basically, as we pass any callback in the method, and we can find the amount of time it takes for any anything in the callback there. So here basically we are doing a fetch, simple fetch query based on their ID, and and we can also do multiple fetches at the same time. And for example here I'm doing iterations of 10. So basically what Laravel will do here is it will find. It will create 10 queries, and then we'll find the mean of all those response times to basically that will be the output of the entire line basically. Same with the other syntax there. Basically we are just having a key value pair in case we need to run the benchmark, two benchmarks at the same time. So here basically a simple exercise for all of us. If we need to find the difference or improvement point in both these queries, so can we spot what could be the difference here? How the queries would work? Sorry? So what's the difference between these two basically, and how they work internally?
So one could be operate on the relation, and second one could be operate on the relaxation.
Okay, so what's the benefit? Which one should we use? In case, in what scenario?
Second one could be operate on the relation. It could be just a single query could be able to run, and the first one could be get the list of comments, and that could be all.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. And then no.
This would be first one could raise and plus one if you are not using the bit.
So here basically the first query.
The second one there is no chance for that.
So here basically the first query would fetch all the comments, and the count function would work on the collection, eloquent collection, which is the output of the entire query. And then in the other one, there would be a single query in the DB, which would be the count query, which is it's performant. The second one would send a single query, and this first one would fetch all the records in memory, and then eloquent will come in play. And yeah, that's all for the day. Any questions on any of your application, real world problems in terms of performance basically? No? Okay, thank you everyone then. Bye-bye.
This was the last talk for the event today, and thank you guys for coming here. It was a special collab between the Laravel Punjab community as well, okay? And so we thank you guys for coming all the way here, and we are looking to further collab with you more next month as well, okay? So a part of our community of the Laravel in Delhi and Punjab, whatever is that, not just we are growing our community in Delhi only, we are also trying to support other community as well. So we are trying to get speakers, sponsors for other communities, so people in that region can involve more in the Laravel ecosystem, so we can truly build up our entire culture when the LaraCon comes in next year. So I hope we all will be joining LaraCon next year in Ahmedabad. So I think we'll be seeing each other again there, okay? So thank you guys for coming here, and we can have some snacks right now and do some networking here. Thank you everyone. So we can have some one group photo right now, and then we can have the snacks.